Hey, it's Barça here, and today's video I'm going to be looking back at the crazy summer transfer window that Barcelona have had. And I think it's fair to say that after all of the signings, Xavi's squad is world class again. And this all happened in only 2 months. So make sure to stay tuned as we're going to take a look at how it exactly took place. Let's start with all of the incoming players. The first player that came over, and some people might have forgotten this one already, was Pablo Torre. Before the summer, Barcelona and his former club Racing Santander had agreed that he would come over, and so he joined the squad in the summer and he went with the team on pre-season too. He's a creative midfielder that has a lot of similarities with Pedri, and since he's only 19 years old, who knows how good he might become. At the moment, the midfield is looking really stacked though, so he'll play with Barça B for most of the season. But in a Copa del Rey game or less important La Liga games, I definitely see him getting some game time. And for Barça B, he can adapt to Barcelona style already, so it's a good thing that we've not loaned him out again. But that was only the first signing, of course. Cause on the 4th of July, Barcelona officially announced Franck Kessié as the new Blaugrana. Last season he was one of Milan's most crucial players as they won the Serie A, so to sign such a player on a free transfer was definitely a good deal. His profile is great for Xavi's team too. He runs a lot, he can get into the box, he works hard, his passing is good, he's humble, and those are only some of his qualities. He's also at the peak of his career probably, as he's 25 years of age. The only disadvantage that came to my mind when he signed was that he might take away valuable minutes from youngsters like Gavi and Nico Gonzalez. Well, the second one ended up leaving on loan to Valencia, and when it comes to Gavi, it seems like Xavi trusts him a lot and will give him a proper amount of game time this season. So there isn't really a downside to the signing of Kessié. That was only the first signing that Barcelona announced that day though, cause a couple of hours later Andreas Christensen was the next player to be announced. As a 26-year-old defender who was an important player for Chelsea, to get him on a free transfer was definitely a great deal too. And his qualities perfectly match the profile of a Barcelona defender. He's prolific at defending, he's strong, he's great with the ball on his feet and so on. His only real weakness might be his pace, but if you've got Ronald Araujo or Jules Koundé next to you, then that's not too much of a problem. And in pre-season as well as in La Liga he's been incredible and hasn't made any errors, so he's proving to be a very reliable centre back. One less downside to him though is that he can be injury prone and has already had his fair share of time spent on the sidelines in his career. So I hope he just stays fit, and even when he does get injured, Barcelona's defense is stacked enough to make up for it. So Christensen was again a great signing. Then, about a week later, on the 13th of July, Barcelona announced the signing of Rafinha. For a total of 58 million euros, this was definitely more of a risky signing, cause you never know if a player will fit in or won't get injured. But up till now, Rafinha's been prolific, and has definitely matched the expectations. With a striker like Lewandowski, you need creative wingers who can provide him, and Rafinha perfectly complements Ousmane Dembélé too, as they can both play at either wing and form a very dynamic attack. But most of all, he's a Brazilian with flair, and such players just belong at the Camp Nou. So this far, he's been an incredible signing, and I think he will have a great Barça career. Then it was time for the big signing. On the 19th of July, Robert Lewandowski signed for the Blaugrana for 45 million euros, and 5 million in variables. Though that's still quite a lot, it was the best possible striker we could have had for such a price. And I mean, it's Robert Lewandowski, what more do I need to say? He's one of the most prolific goal scorers of the generation, he's great at link-up play, he's humble and hardworking, so basically the perfect number 9 for Barcelona. And I still remember one of the biggest weak points of Xavi's team last season, to turn chances into goals. Even with good finishers like Aubameyang, Memphis and Ferran Torres, scoring goals proved to be a problem in some games. And creating chances isn't a problem if you got players like Pedri and Dembélé, so a world-class striker on top of that is just the icing on the cake. So Lewandowski was a crucial signing, and I think he'll easily score above 40 goals in all competitions this season. Then on the 28th of July, Jules Koundé was the next acquisition for Xavi's team, and for 15 million euros it was definitely a great deal. He's still only 23 years old and is arguably already La Liga's best defender. And if you look at how expensive some defenders elsewhere have been, then you realize that getting Koundé for 50 million is an absolute bargain. He's literally the perfect Barcelona defender too. He's strong, he's great with the ball on his feet, he's incredible at all aspects of defending, he can read the game well tactically, and he's fast. He literally doesn't have any weak points. Okay, he's only 5'10", but so is Carles Puyol, so even as a defender that doesn't matter too much if your other qualities make up for it. So surely combined with someone like Ronald Araujo, Barcelona have a world-class defense again. What a signing he is. During the month of August there didn't happen anything for a long time, and though there were a lot of rumors about Bernardo Silva joining from Manchester City, he didn't join eventually. So we had to wait for deadline day for some other signings. First of all, we finally got a new right back with Hector Bellerin, who came over on a free transfer from Arsenal. And for years he had already been linked to the club, so it was only a matter of time really before he would put on the Blaugrana jersey. And having spent some time in La Masia in his youth, he knows what the club stands for and the playing style of Barcelona, so he won't have a hard time adapting. It was absolutely necessary too, because Xavi didn't trust Serginho Dest and Sergio Roberto can play at right back, but you don't want him as your first choice. So definitely another good signing. The other deadline day signing was Marcos Alonso, and this is the only signing I feel a little skeptical about. He's already 31 years old and isn't a better left back than Jordi Alba or Alejandro Balde even, and he might take valuable game time away from the younger left back. So those are the main downsides to this signing, but there's definitely positives too. As a player who came on a free and only has a contract for 1 year, there isn't much risk to this deal, and you never know if Balde or Jordi Alba get injured throughout the season, so in that case we'll be very grateful for having Marcos Alonso. So it's not bad having him in the squad. I just hope he won't be above Alejandro Balde in Xavi's pecking order, because Balde has been great this season up till now and he's basically the long-term replacement for Jordi Alba. So those are all of the incoming players, and if you look at the squad now, it's clear that especially in attack and defense we've improved a lot. On paper, our defense is possibly one of the best in Europe, and our two best defenders are both only 23 years old, so in the long term it will only get better. In midfield, Barca were honestly already quite good before this summer, but we've just added some depth and variety with Kessié, especially if someone gets injured. In attack, both our wing and our striker position have improved, and I wouldn't hesitate to say that our attack is amongst the best 5 in the world, especially with the depth we have on every position. So with the incoming transfers, Barcelona's squad became world class again, but without some players with big wages leaving, that wouldn't have been possible. First of all, Riqui Puig went to LA Galaxy, and I know a lot of fans really loved him, but by now it was clear that this was the best decision for him. And don't forget that Barcelona have a buyback clause, so he might still come back to the Camp Nou one day. Also, Barcelona will get half of the money on any future sale, so it's far from a bad deal. Then Samuel Umtiti also left the club and went to Lecce, and I only see positives here really. Umtiti is gonna get more playing time probably, the Lecce fans will appreciate him, and Barcelona get rid of some big wages. So again, a great deal. Next there's Barça B player Ferran Jutgla, who went to Club Brugge for 5 million euros. And though I think he would have rarely gotten any playing time, it's a shame that we let him go, cause he's definitely a talented striker, and in La Masia that's the one position where there's not too much world class talents. Next, Mingueza also left and he went to Celta Vigo. Definitely not a bad deal considering he wasn't too good last season, and just like with Riqui Puig there's a buyback clause and we'll get half of the money on any future sale. So also a great deal. Our second goalkeeper Neto also left of course, and he went to Bournemouth after terminating his contract with the Blaugrana. This is especially good because Iñaki Peña will get more game time now. Those deals all happened during the transfer window, but on deadline day there were still some players who left. First of all, Braithwaite's contract was terminated and he eventually joined Espanyol. He wasn't going to get too much playing time this season with all of the attacking options we have, so he would have mostly been an extra burden on the wage bill. He even knew since the 17th of May that Xavi didn't count on him anymore. Then there was one last player we sold, and it was Aubameyang, who went to Chelsea for 12 million euros. It definitely was a shame he left because he was crucial last season. Lastly, some players left on loan. First of all, Collado is loaned out to Elche, which is the right choice for him I think. He wouldn't have gotten too much minutes under Xavi this season. Then Clément Lenglet joined Tottenham, and he was on big wages and just wasn't necessary anymore if you look at the defense we have got now. So a good deal too. Next, Nico Gonzalez was loaned out to Valencia of course. And though he might not have had a lot of playing time this season, I don't know if this was the right decision. At Valencia he's been struggling to get into the starting 11 thus far, and under Xavi he might have improved more. But he's there now and it's too early to say that it was the wrong decision probably. He might still get into the starting 11 and be important for Valencia this season. S. Abde left on loan too and he went to Osasuna. This was a good decision as well, because just as with the other players he would have been on the bench this season most of the time, and Osasuna I see him getting a lot of game time. Last but not least, Serginho Dest went on loan to Milan. Definitely the right choice. Xavi didn't count on him anymore, so now he will get playing time at another club that's also in the Champions League. So that were all of the outgoing transfers, and it's safe to say Barcelona got rid of a lot of dead wood, which hadn't happened in previous years and was definitely necessary, especially with the wage bill. So Laporta and Alemany, well done. Xavi now only has players that he will actually use, and the team has become stronger in all areas really with the incoming transfers. Barcelona have definitely had one of their best ever transfer windows. That was it for today's video. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe if you enjoyed it, and feel free to share your own opinion in the comments down below. Força Barça and have a good day.